Peace, Cancer. This is Kashia, also known as Puda, here to give you a reading for retrograde. I realize I like to do readings for retrograde. So like what you should be focusing on entering in the retrograde, because I also believe like retrograde is a time for us to be chilling. So some of the things that we haven't been working on really highlight itself in retrograde season. So I wanted to give these readings to give a little warning or clue as to where we need to be focusing on. So some of these things you may want to hear, some you may not. So this reading is for Cancer. Come on to the front. So willing you are having a good day and you're enjoying this season and you feel the shift, that is among us, So give me a second. I just want to make sure it's all shuffled. What we got for Cancer? All right. So a lot of you are experiencing some heartbreak. The bottom deck card is something that I'd like to do as an overall message for the reading. And you have the Three of Swords here. So this is an air of either heartbreak or disappointment or just upheaval in the relationship or personal interactions with others department, okay? It's just like, but in the retrograde time, these things may pop up again. So whether this could be specifically in your feelings and or people. So if you have experienced a breakup or you're experiencing a breakup and it's really brand new, or you've been reconsidering going back to that old thing, the retrograde specifically for you is going to be an intense one. It's going to be a test of, is this what you really want? Is this the lessons that you really, have you really learned the lessons from that time period with this specific person? But I do see for you though, you have the Ten of Swords in reverse and the Five of Cups, which is like moving on from things just moving on from the past, not crying over spilled milk because you have blessings that are right behind you. The cups mean relationship, creativity, emotions, those kind of things. So like you're worrying about the past, sometimes you gotta be looking to the front, because if you keep looking at the past, you're going to just attract the past and not necessarily the people, but that same energy. That's why during the retrograde time, during September 9th through October or beginning of October, and even a little after the residue, just be mindful of the people that you're meeting and that they're not the same energy you have dealt with in the past. Contrastly, also make sure that you're not the retrograde energy wanting that old thing back, knowing damn well you may not have been the best. You know what I'm saying? Or just thinking like, oh, you may remember the good times, but I need you to remember the sour, the not so good, the real times, where you get to see the people for who they really are. And I say that because we got the Devil card. When we have the Devil card, it's like looking at the innards that we have and really just jumping into the things that we know we are. So for you Cancer, during your retrograde time, it's a lot of shadow work, and you're going to be tested with that old thing back. But the thing is, it's going to be mindful of that gossip though. Be mindful of like having intertwining back in old talk, old gossip, old things, because you're trying to get out of that. So retrograde will have you going back to old behaviors. Retrograde will have you going back to like the old you. People like, oh, that's the old me. I'm past that. This retrograde for you can't just gonna test you. They're like, all right, you're not the same way no more. I'm about to present new same scenarios, maybe different faces, or it may look a little different to see how really well you have evolved. So and you're considering it, which is insane, so this is the time where you're supposed to be really nurturing yourself and seeing what it is that you're supposed to be doing, because it looks like you might be going back to something. And if you are going back to something in this retrograde season, Cancer, you need to be going back to what it feels like to love on yourself, or what it feels like to do the things you like to do, and redefining like you. You know, once you redefine you, a lot of comeback energy is not going to hold any merit or any mind space at all. But you really need to really see what is that pattern. It's a good time to study your patterns this season, for this retrograde season, because they're going to be extremely highlighted for you in this time. And I say that too. It could be somebody in the love department, or you could be the lover thinking like, damn, I think I want him or her back. Like, but to be realistic here, and then you need to set boundaries on that kind of love of that person in your life. You're like, hey, I love you, but we're not good for each other. I mean, you don't have to hate somebody to not be on that kind of level with them. You know, you have to evolve. And you really have to make sure that you are emotionally healing. Also, some of you Cancers, though, you need to also celebrate the small victories. A lot of times you may be waiting for the big pride, the big payback, or the big grand finale of something, the big blessing, but you need to really be able to give yourself some credit on your journey. You know, give yourself some credit to where you are like, you know what, I did that. I have so much I want to go to and aspire to, but and I'm not there yet, but give yourself credit for where you are right now. Like, you have gone so far from where you come from. You know, evolution is mandatory in this, you know, in this conscious, even righteous path that you're on. And so you have to make sure that as you're giving yourself some credit, you're truly shedding and healing. Because if you don't shed and heal, it's going to come out in the things you speak. It's going to come out in your answers to things. That's going to be specific. You can always tell somebody who's still healing by their responses. They may still be living within those traumas, or you can tell, or those through those traumas by the response. You're like, oh dang, they're still going through that, you know. So make sure that you're giving yourself some credit for where you were to where you are, and then, you know, make the plan for where you're going to be, because Cancer, this is your season and you are very powerful in your emotions. So then retrograde is going to really be a call for you to tap into those things, tap into yourself, and don't go back, and don't allow old things to come back either. Okay. All right, so that's what I have for your retrograde. If you would like to book a full reading with me, you can DM me on alienblackgirl_ on Instagram or on Facebook. It's just me, okay? If it's not me and my catch up is not Alien Black Girl, they lying, okay? So, and I would never solicit you, so come to me and we'll check it. So, all right, peace, Cancer.